Kurt, just go over what kind of benefits are when you're doing joint practices with another team and what you can kind of gauge from that.
I think the greatest thing is, I think almost, I don't want to say complacency when you go against your own team, but it kind of ramps up the competition. I mean, I think if you look at what's happened over these last couple of weeks when teams have been practicing, there's been several fights. I mean, because it's very intense. But I think the one thing that you want to be able to come out of it is going against a different opponent, different people, and pushing yourself. You want to be able to grow. I mean, obviously, fights will happen, but that's not what you want. You know, you want to have good, hard, competing practices. And hopefully both teams can come away with saying, you know, we learned this, or maybe, you know, you're going against a certain wide receiver. I mean, Keenan Allen's a really good wide receiver. I mean, hopefully, you know, whether it be Crawley, Marshawn, whoever it is you can learn some things from great wide receivers.
Does it kind of also just kind of mix it up and kind of like break that monotony almost of camp, just going against the same person every day?
Oh, absolutely, and that's what I'm saying, because it increases your focus a little bit. I mean, it's a whole new setting. And like I said, we want to come out of this trip from out west, and you want to be able to say that we got better. We want to take some steps forward because I think the Chargers are a really good team. You're going against a great quarterback, you know, with an offense that's very experienced when they're running it. So I think defensively, we got a challenge, and I want us to really be able to rise up to the challenge every single day that we're going against them.
Kurt, you're a veteran. You've been through many training camps. Hadn't had a lot of work game-wise in this preseason. How much game work do you need in a preseason?
I mean, I think I'm not immune. I want reps just like anybody else, just to get a familiarity, because there is a difference between practice speed. Even if you're saying full live, you know, you still trying to take care of your teammates versus game against another opponent. I still want those reps, but I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's all about, you know, what is best for this team. And I think this next upcoming game, I'm assuming that I'll be out there, be able to get some good reps in. But it's all about fine-tuning. I mean, this preseason is just about, you know, shaving off the rough edges, so when it comes to regular season, this defense, this team is ready to fire on all cylinders.
In a joint practice, could that be as valuable as a preseason game?
I am of the one a believer that I think sometimes the practices are very, very intense, almost game-like at times. I've even talked to, you know, some people saying, you know, if you just had a couple of these practices, joint practices, you really don't need a game because they are very intense. And like I was saying earlier, I mean, you have teams that are fighting because it is mano-a-mano. You don't know this guy, you know, and you want to win. You want to show off for your coaches. You want to perform for your team. So it is a game-like atmosphere going against those guys.
What kind of improvement do you think the starting defense showed week 1 to week 2?
Well, first off, I mean, I would say we had 2 straight 3-and-outs. And I think what you learn about your defense, especially, and you can look across the board from first preseason game, there's a lot of missed tackles. So, you know, I thought, and I'm talking about across the board in the NFL, the tackling is a lot better in game 2, 3, 4, et cetera. But I thought for us in particular, I thought we did a great job on rundowns. I mean, I always say it starts up front. If your run defense is stout and you're just making them passable, that's what you want. You want to be able to make offenses one-dimensional, and then you can play into your hand. I think, you know, we challenged guys a lot more, and I think even so, we can still become better. We can still make some more plays on the ball. But like I said, I like the growth from week 1 to week 2. We got to take another step here this next week.
What do you kind of say to Marshawn's decision to Marshawn?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's got to be himself. And, you know, you don't want to change who he is as a person because that's who's made him. You know, you just want to try to give him the tips, the motivation, the experience, and really just help push him and raise his level because I tell him all the time, I mean, greatness is upon him, but you have to be able to step upon it and really take on ownership of it. And, I mean, I don't know if you were watching practice today. He had a great practice today. Great practice today. And that's what we need out of him every single day because a lot is required of him because of the type of corner he is. And I think offenses are going to continue to challenge him because he is a great corner. But I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do this year. I really am. And moving forward for the next coming years, he's going to be a special player.
Do you kind of believe in that gamer kind of thing? I mean, if we apply that to Marshawn, is that more or less what you're kind of seeing out there, or do you believe in that term gamer?
I think you would hope that everybody raises their level of play during games. So in essence, everybody is a gamer, but you want to be able to have a great practice habits because your great practice habits translate on the field. Obviously, you can go out of here and practice and just be very talented and make some plays. But then when it comes to a game, maybe if your technique's not right, your fundamentals, or you're just not locked in because you didn't do it in practice, it can get you beat, even if you're very, very talented. And I think that's the growth that we're seeing. That's the growth that we're having with our guys is, yes, we are talented, but know what? There's more to the game than just talent. And then when you put all the pieces together, that's when you have a great individual person, that's when you have a great defense and a great team.